Good morning, my artsy friends. Happy Monday. Excuse me. Welcome to our regularly scheduled Monday morning live. Today, we are going to be doing a unboxing and swatching. Now, we have over 70 pencils to swatch. So let's just be very realistic. More than likely, the entire live will be taken up with swatching, looking at the different colors, looking at how they pan out with water. It's quite a few pencils, and I'm gonna try to swatch as quickly as I can. I was thinking to myself after I planned this live, what were you thinking planning to swatch over 70 pencils on a live? Like what was going through your head? But here we are, and we are definitely gonna get it done. So let's just kind of kick things off with. I really don't have much to show you guys new that has come to the studio lately, except for one item. Now, if you guys remember, I told you here not too long ago that we did an art haul, and I've showed you guys the Paul Rubin pastels and the Woodies. I've showed you guys the Niji art crayons um, that came in as well. And these were not supposed to come in until the 2nd of May, which was the last item placed in that order because they were coming from across seas. But they actually made it pretty early. And I was surprised because USPS actually brought the package to my office instead of Amazon, which was really weird because I'd never seen USPS delivering Amazon packages. But nonetheless, it arrived. And this is the Play Color Art Gouache Stick, solid paint stick. I've never seen a gouache paint stick. Now, of course, I've seen those paint sticks that are named tempera, more like poster paints or something of that nature. But this is the very first time I'd ever run across a product that literally said that it was a solid gouache stick. So I did grab a set. These are probably the things I was the most excited about. Um, And the box did arrive a little damaged, kind of torn. I don't know if it went from Amazon to USPS or how that worked. But as I said, the United States Postal Service is who dropped it off, although I ordered it from Amazon and it was in Amazon packaging. But just real quick, I'm going to show you guys what these are. Now, when I got them at work, I was so excited. I went ahead and opened them because I wanted to see, like, what do they mean solid wash stick? And as I popped one open, I realized that they look a lot like tempera sticks, but just right away, see how I indented it just by removing the top from it. They seem to be super, 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 super soft, maybe even more so than a tempera stick. So I can't wait to kind of play around with these and see what they're all about. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that the last crayon product that I ordered did actually finally arrive. So you guys can start looking forward to seeing these things unboxed and swatched and used and reviewed coming up over the summertime because we have quite a few products to get through, right? As usual. As usual. Okay, so yesterday, if you are part of the Creation Station over in Patreon, then yesterday we had our second Watercolor Sunday Fun Day live, and it was centered around me showing the 9 different techniques that I use to create texture in watercolor. Now, that's not to say that these are the only 9 techniques, but it's just to say that these are the ones that I use the most. And we had an amazing time for those who showed up live. And if you didn't catch it live and you're a part of the Creation Station, you have access to the replay. So you can always go back and watch it if you would like to. Um, I feel like it was a very useful class and it gave a lot of information. Now, for those people who are not members of Creation Station and you happen to be a free member of the Thrifty Apprentice Patreon community, then you're in luck because this is going to be one of the classes that after the edits are made to the live, it will be available in the shop for a one-time purchase for the class of $5. So even if you're a free member, once the edits are finished, you'll still be able to purchase the class and have access to it because you'll be purchasing it as a digital download if you're not a monthly subscriber to the Creation Station. So I did want to throw that out there. But just real quick, I'm going to show you what we covered. We covered 9 different texture techniques, which included using salt, plastic wrap, paper abrasion, paper scraping, alcohol, paper towels, sponges, splattering, and using water mist to create those 9 different textures. I'll give you a really quick glimpse at the things we covered in that class. That way you can see the salt, sponge, splatter, the different techniques we use to make texture, and to show you how you could put texture in both your background and whatever objects you may be painting, including water misting. So again, if you are a member of the Creation Station and you missed that, you got you'll have access to it. And if you're a free member of the Thrifty Patreon community, then as of this evening, hopefully, you will have access to a one-time purchase of that class in case you're not a subscribed member to the Creation Station. With that said, Marianne, my friend, who attends almost every single live from YouTube to Patreon, was in that class yesterday. And after she finished, and I know she probably doesn't mind me sharing at all, because I typically post these over in the Creation Station as artists post anyway. I just want to show you guys the wonderful job she did. She used 4 different techniques to follow along with the example in the class. And I'm always very proud, guys, of the work that you guys do over in the Creation Station. I love it when you send me the work so that I can show it off, show what you did, how you took what was going on in class and utilized it. And I just have to show this. It is absolutely amazing. So here yesterday we used about 4 or 5 of the different techniques that you just saw in order to do a really quick illustration afterwards. Because most of the video was taken up about discussing the techniques. And Marianne did such a wonderful job utilizing um, the techniques, from the sponging to the splattering, the paper abrasion to put the texture in her bark, um, the salt technique in order to add texture to her tree, the water misting technique in order to add texture to her background. Marianne, I just want to tell you, you did an amazing, amazing job taking what you saw in that class and utilizing it. And I just have to tell you, I am very proud of you. I'm very proud of all of my patrons and all of my YouTube viewers, of course. But whenever you guys send me your work, especially from following a class, I have to take a second to give a shout out to you and let you know that you did a great job utilizing those techniques. Okay, friend? So pat yourself on the back. I was very proud of you. So today we are looking at the Caran Dache 76 count museum aquarelle watercolor pencils or watercolor crayons, depending on where you live. Um, because in some countries, some languages, the word crayon covers a wide variety of things. So here we have the Caran Dodge box. And I have to tell you guys, I'm very excited about this. Like, very excited. Let me remove really quickly. Let me remove this top sheet from where we worked yesterday. Um, that way I can have some paper to swatch on. Give me just one quick second. I'm just going to remove that top sheet. And I will be swatching on 100% cotton watercolor paper today. This is the Fumui artist grade watercolor paper. It's a block. Pretty affordable. I have it on Amazon. I'm pretty sure it's a white label. It's a white label product. I'm not quite sure. Well, I know the manufacturer that is actually manufacturing this paper. I'm just not sure who else they manufacture, but I do know um, the manufacturer because that's one of the manufacturers I was looking at for having my watercolor block created as well. But of course, all those ideals have slowed down with all of the, let's be clear, I mean, this is not me being political. This is just me being real. A lot of the projects that I was working on for product releases had to take a little stall, a little slowdown. Um, and yes, it is because of the tariffs. It's just what it is. Regardless of whether a person likes to hear that or not, it is what it is. So here we have the Caran Dache uh, soft watercolor pencils of extra fine quality. And then, of course, and this is what I mean, it's in different languages. And of course, they call them crayons Aquarelle instead of watercolor pencils. It has the Caran Swiss made logo. Um, and let's see if we can flip it over here. The back of the box, developed and produced in our workshops in Geneva in close collaboration with watercolor artists, our extra fine quality museum aquarelle pencils are perfectly suited to cope with the demands of both watercolor painting and artistic drawing. This set of 76 colors give you optimal intensity and transparency, as well as exceptional light fastness to enable you to achieve all your watercolor techniques. To widen further the range of artistic possibilities, we have also included two water-soluble graphite Technolo pencils in 6B and 3B so that you can draw in watercolor every shade of black. Oh, so pencils are going to be water soluble too. The graphites are going to be water soluble too. That's nice. 100% water soluble immediately. Optimal intensity with no veiled effect. Exceptional color fastness. Standard blue wool scale. So it is good that they go ahead and let you know that they have been light fast tested on the blue wool scale. But I'm going to touch on that in just a second. Um, Brilliant, vibrant colors, high pigment density, unlimited color mixing, and wet or dry mixed techniques. Now, I learned something very interesting maybe a couple of videos or a couple of lives back. And we all are constantly learning. We don't all know everything, regardless of how long we may have been in a particular niche. I learned here a couple of weeks ago that when watercolor pencils specifically are light fast tested, it's done in their dry form, not in their wet form, um, which I think is really interesting. But I mean, we already know that whenever you're looking at light fast ratings, the light fast ratings, like for instance, if you go to any sites that are trusted, like Handprint for light fast, technically, those light fast ratings have really been tested for pigments that are used in like oils and acrylics. And you'll even see in parentheses, like at the very top of the page or the very bottom of the page, it'll tell you that with watercolors, diluting a paint with water can change the light fast rating of it or does take away from some of the light fastness. So that's something that I always like to tell people. So the whole light fast argument is kind of a push and pull. Some people care about it, some people don't, and those who do, sometimes I don't think that we know all the information surrounding the technicalities of a light fast rating. Um, I'm not going to go through here and read everything on the back of this box. I think we pretty much get the gist of their proclamations about the pencils. Now, I do like that down here on the bottom, they give you like a timeline of the different pencils that Caran d'Ache has released and when they were released. For those people who are, excuse me, Neo Color 2 fans, did you know that Caran d'Ache released those watercolor crayons in 1974? That's how long the Neo Color 2 pencil has been around. Neo 2 color crayon, I'm sorry, has been around. If you are a Neocolor One wax pastel fan, those wax pastels have been around since 1952. The Neo pastel has been around since 1985. Now, one of my favorite pencils was released in 1988, the Supercolor Aquarelle, which up until this point has been my favorite water soluble pencil from them. The luminance pencils were only released as a short time ago as 2008. That pastel pencils 2012, and then the museum aquarelle pencils were released in 2013. So they have really, no, they have a. It's amazing how long some of these products have been out, and they're still super popular on the market. So it comes in a corrugated two-piece box. Pop off the lid. The lid has foam that is adhered in the top of the palette. This is one thing I love. These pencils are super protected inside this box. Lots of cushioning to keep the pencils separated from bumping around. I really love that. We have a brochure here um, that basically kind of goes through the museum aquarelle pencils. It's going to recover a lot of the things that we read from the box. It does give you the different standard sizes that you can purchase the museum pencils in. The standard full collection of 76 pencils, the standard assortment collection of 40 pencils. You can get them in a count of 20. And the 20 breaks down. I think this is interesting. So the standard assortments for 40 and 76, but if you buy them in packs of 20, they actually break down to niches. For instance, this is the marine set and this is the landscape set. So it's going to be my assumption that those two would be what make up the 40 pencils. And then from there, you would just be buying the complete range. And of course, there's a standard color set of 12, which is the smallest that they sell. Or you can get all 76 pencils in a wooden box. But let me tell you, the price tag on that particular set is kind of redonkulous. Redonkulous, not ridiculous, redonkulous. It is almost in the $300 mark, almost in the $400 mark, depending on where you get it from. So here we have beautiful watercolor pencils that are separated not by plastic trays, but by actual box trays that have been lined with the oh, I can't think of what this is at the moment. But you know what I'm trying to say. And it's been divided. Each pencil is safely housed, and each one of the wells have been drilled in order to hold the pencil down more than halfway so that they don't fall out. Really cool. Caran Dache was smart enough to go ahead and include what I say most pencil makers should include, which are the tabs on the side in order for you to be able to grab each tray and easily access the tray up under it. So you're going to get three trays of pencils. The bottom tray is non-removable. Something else I thought was really different. It is adhered into the bottom of the box. So yeah, this is definitely for their pencils because you can't remove it and just kind of let them roll around in there. They're definitely making sure that this box protects the pencils, right? So we have 76. Of course, we know from reading the back of the box, two of them are technical pencils. Let's take a look at the actual pencil themselves. So here you have a black barrel with a colored chip on the end of each of the pencils. The pencils are domed, so you can't see right away whether or not they have a centered lid. But of course, we'll be able to tell that throughout the testing process, just so long as when we sharpen, the pencils do not consistently have an uneven sharpening to them. So um, there we have that. You're going to get sort of silvery metallic writing, which does stand out against the black barrel, does seem to stand out against the color swatch on this one pencil anyway. It reads Museum Aquarelle. You're going to get the paintbrush logo to let you know that it is a watercolor pencil. Caran Dache, Swiss made. You're going to get the set number, which is 3510, and then the actual color number here being 350 for open stock reference ordering, because you can purchase these pencils open stock. On the opposite side, you're going to get a UPC code for that open stock purchasing. And then there is a sun symbol, which I think is so cute, to let you know that this is the light fast rating for this particular pencil, which this one has 5 stars. And we'll get into that once we get to the actual reviewing of these pencils. As you continue to turn, you're also going to get the color name for the pencil. And in this case, this particular one is purplish red. So Right off looking, I do not see that any of the legs seem to have any damage to them. I don't see anything that's broken. I don't see any damage on any of the barrels. They seem pretty pristine in all honesty. Now, that is, I was trying to see if I can smell it and tell you what type of wood that is, but I can't. So I'm definitely going to have to do the research on that for the actual review section. But yeah, I don't see any issues with the physical appearance of the pencils right off. And as you know, the last two watercolor pencil sets I've tested outside of the Stettler Carrot Aquarelle pencils and the Faber-Castell Abrador pencils had a few not those two. Those two are the exception. But some of the other pencils, like the Hippie Crafter pencils, and there was another set that I reviewed in the last couple of months that just kind of had some physical issues with them right out of the box. So this is where we are. That's pretty much the physicality, the unboxing of pencils. Now I'm going to be using pencils in the order that they come in the box, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to move pretty fast. This is a lot of pencils to swatch, and then to have to turn around and disperse that pigment so you can see what they look like once they're actually wet. Go ahead now, take the opportunity, give the video a little boot, sprinkle a little love, and give it a thumbs up as we jump into swatching. Now I'm gonna have the pencils angled off just a little bit, but you guys, we're gonna get through it. So we're gonna start off, and as I said, we're gonna swatch in the order that they are already here. I'm not gonna reorder them because I don't want to take up any extra time. We're gonna start off with Night Blue. And if you guys are having issues seeing at all, please let me know. I will close the blinds and turn on the studio lights so that you'll be able to see better. Ooh, that's soft. For a watercolor pencil, that's pretty soft. Okay. Okay, wait. There's a little scratch, of course. That's to be expected with watercolor pencils, but not nearly as much as I thought it would be. Okay, and that is number 149, uh, Night Blue is what it's called. All right, next up we have number 640. This is going to be dark ultramarine with a light fast of 3. And these probably won't even be complete comprehensive swatches. I just need to get through this. I'm sorry. In the Night Blue, the first one we swatched had a light fast rating of 5. Next up, we have number 660. This is going to be medium cobalt blue with a light fast rating of 5. We have number 662, genuine cobalt blue with a light rating of a star rating of 5. Interesting. We've gotten quite a few 5s in the blue. Next up, we have 161. This is light blue with 4 stars. Um, 661 light cobalt blue, which is 5 stars. I'm gonna try to get through swatching one layer, and then I'll check the comments. We'll swatch the next layer. I'll check the comments. This is number 630. It is ultramarine violet with 5 stars. And listen, we were just discussing light fast. Let me tell you something. It's so subjective. You'll have so many people that have so many different opinions um, on light fastness. This is number 112. Manganese violet, 5 stars. I love how smoothly they go down. I really like that. I really, really do. There's no resistance at all with this swatch. 131 periwinkle blue, which is 4 stars. All right. Next up, we have number 120, Violet, which is 3 stars. And again, I'm only giving star ratings for those people that it matter to. We know we have a mixture of wonderful artists in the thrifty community. This is 575, Carmine Lake, 5 stars. Ooh, that's pretty. Actually, all of them have been pretty. And I tell you guys all the time, let me see something. You know, yeah, they smudge. They definitely have a smudge. I wonder if I'm gonna have to do some more testing on that. I'm gonna have to do some more testing on that smudging, because it may just be on this textured watercolor paper. But most watercolor pencils are advertised to be able to be used dry as well, like a color pencil, which is why I always do a smudge test on them, because I'm not going to be using a watercolor pencil as a colored pencil, especially if it has huge smudging factors to it. So I'm going to test that smudging on quite a few papers before I actually get to the review video for these. Let's see, where were we? What did we just swatch? Carmine Lake. So next we're moving on to Dark Plum number 106 with a light fast rating of 2. And listen, fugitive colors does not always equal a bad thing. I'm just gonna throw that out there. 5.99, 3 stars, Crimson Aubergine. 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 Ooh, I love that. Ooh, I love that. That's pretty. Next up, we have 350 Purplish Red, 5 stars. We're moving into some warmer red. Warmer reds here. This is number 70 Scarlet with 5 stars. We have number 60 Vermilion with 3 stars. Number 560 Light Cadmium Red with 5 stars. Now, and listen, I always suggest that you swatch all of your water soluble products, especially paints and pencils, because they may fool you. They may look a certain way in their dry form, and once you disperse them with water, they can have a completely different look. This is number 850. This is Cornelian, Cornelian. There. I'm not sure if you can see it. And it is number 5. You guys know I will butcher a name I'm not used to. Carnan. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people to correct me if I'm wrong. um, Next up, we have number 30, Orange, 5 stars. Ooh, I love the way they go down on the paper. Love that. Did y'all hear my stomach? Tell me you didn't. Let me take a swig of coffee so I can curb this hunger. Hold on one second. Okay. If you didn't know, coffee is a really good hunger suppressant. 52 Saffron, 4 stars. Next up, 530 is going to be Golden Cadmium Yellow at 5 stars. Number 20, Golden Yellow at 5 stars. Number 10, 4 stars, just yellow. Ooh, that's pretty. Love that. Hello, yellow. Number 240 is 5 stars, and it is lemon yellow. Love the fact that there's a lemon, a more neutral yellow. There's a nice range of yellows there. This is a nice range of yellows, I have to say. Next up, number 242, Primrose, which has 5 stars. Pretty light color there. I may need to re-swatch that one with like um, black ink behind it. And the last one on this tray is number 1, which is probably white. Yeah, I'm gonna skip swatching white. I don't think it's gonna show up on this paper. However, it is 5 stars. So considering the fact that white is 5 stars, what does I know to be pretty light fast color? I'm gonna assume 5 is the most light fast rating, or the most light fastness on the blue wool scale. All right, I'm gonna remove that tray. We're gonna go ahead and dissolve these real quick. I'm just gonna grab, actually, I'm gonna grab a golden tackline brush. Of course, we know, or actually, a water brush might not be bad. Maybe I should just use a water brush. Yeah, let's do that. I think it'll make things quicker. Let me see if I can find one. Um, you guys know I have several different kinds of water brushes, but Shapiro Farben by far is my favorite water brushes. Now, as I say that, watch me not be able to find one simply because, okay, here's a brush, but it's not the one I was talking about. That's all right. We're going to use it anyway. I just need to I need to put a little water in it real quick. And I normally just fill my water brushes with my mister. My mister has a really small head on it, so I can normally kind of get what I need done with that. All right, let's see here. Do I have a paper towel with me so that I can clean my water brush? No, I do not. But that's okay because I have plenty of sponges that'll work. All right, let's get this to crack a level. Have some purple in it from something. All right. Um, do you guys remember these colors? I don't. I should have put them down in the thing color up. So as did I swatch that pencil? Oh, this is, oh, I'm like, I did not swatch that pencil. I do not remember those names being what we swatched. I forgot I set the tray to the side. All right, I'm just gonna roll these colors around real quick so that I can remind you what they are as they become wet. Um, Give me just a second. I'll make it as quick as possible. You may remember I don't have the best memory in the world, so you know. Your boy has to look at the name so he can tell you what it is. Scarlet, uh, orange saffron. Most of them are turned where I can see them. And I'll plan that a little bit better for the next trade. All right, so let's knock this out. We have the night blue. Oh my God. Oh, okay. That's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. Oh, the dissolvability right away is amazing. Very, very easy pigment disbursement. Let me just throw that out from the very first two I swatched. We're gonna hope that they're all that way. That second one was a dark ultramarine, very beautiful saturated color. Next up, we have the midnight cobalt blue, and I understand the name because it's definitely on the darker side for cobalt. Nonetheless, beautiful. I'm sorry, middle cobalt blue. Then the next one is genuine cobalt blue, which is, yes, looks more like the standard cobalt. You see how easy those are dispersing? And you'll hear me tell you all the time that when it comes to watercolor pencils, you want to definitely control the amount of water that you have on your brush. I always kind of suggest like a nylon bristle brush to help disperse the pigments really easily, but that's not necessary with these pencils. I guarantee you these pencils would disperse with no problem with like a regular soft brush, and I have to test that theory. So I'm going to switch over to a synthetic squirrel real quick. Let me see if I can find a small one. Here's one right here. Yes. I'm gonna switch over. This is a number 3 round synthetic squirrel. I'm just curious. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, now that lets you know that the disbursement of a pigment is pretty superb. If you can use the softer brushes that you have in order to disperse the pigment for your watercolor pencils, that's saying a lot about the quality of the disbursement factor. Absolutely. So we had, what was this? Um, Middle cobalt. Nope, 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 nope. We had night blue, dark ultramarine, middle cobalt blue, genuine cobalt blue, light blue, light cobalt blue, and ultramarine violet. I'm gonna switch back over to my water brush. Going in with magnesium violet. Colors seem to be saturated. I definitely don't feel like I'm washing away pigment. And this is a continuous flow water brush. So not necessarily really controlling the water I'm using here, but the disbursement is crazy. I'm definitely not washing away any pigment. It's staying saturated here. All right, Karen Dache. This one is the, oh, what was that? I keep losing my way. Two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That was periwinkle blue. We're going to move on to the violet, which is actually really blue leaning, but very saturated and beautiful. Definitely blue leaning. All right, next up we have Carmine Lake. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We're moving on to dark plum. And I'm really rinsing my water brush in a water bucket. So I'm definitely not controlling the water here. And these are performing amazingly. Crimson aubergine. Oh wow. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed already. Purplish red. But of course, I'm a Caran Dache freak. So I may be a bit biased. That is a gorgeous color. I love that. Next up we have scarlet. Oh my goodness. Look at, oh, they're so pigmented. I'm sorry. Just right off first impressions, I think these have more pigment than the Labradors. Vermilion. Yeah, I definitely think these are much more saturated. And I love the Labrador pencils. I really do. But come on, look at that. Next up is light cadmium red. Oh my goodness. The reds are beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Then we have carnelian. Carnelian. Oh, that's beautiful. Sort of like a pumpkin orange almost. Oh, wow. Very saturated color. Then we have orange, which in all honesty kind of close to the one we just watched. It'll be interesting to see how many colors in the set are candy. Next up is saffron. Pretty light pigmented color, but still very dispersible. It's just a lighter color. Next up is golden cadmium. Oh, that's so pretty. Golden cadmium yellow. Wow. All right. And then we're going to have golden yellow. Eh, those are pretty close as well. Yeah. Those are like, that has a little bit more red in it, but those are pretty close. And I'm gonna be honest, I almost can't tell those two apart. Next, we're moving on to yellow. It's pretty, more of a neutral yellow. Then we have lemon yellow. Yes, definitely leaning yellow, almost neon-y, actually. Not quite, but almost. And then we have primrose, which I don't think we're going to be able to see, but let's experiment for a second. We are doing an unboxing and swatching. So I'm going to grab that primrose pencil and I'm going to actually pull color from the lid of it. See if we can get a better swatch here. See, you're learning a technique if you've never seen it before doing the swatching. Yeah, that's a pretty light color, friends. Pretty light color. I can see where it would have its applications though. All right, and that is the first tray. I'm gonna set this to the side, and we're gonna go ahead and continue on. So we're swatching the second tray of pencils here, and we're gonna be starting with the Prussian blue, which happens to be one of my favorite colors. So hopefully that one won't be disappointing at all. That's number 159. It has a light fast rating of 5 stars. Next up, we'll be swatching permanent blue, number 670, with a 5-star rating. Ooh, that's pretty going down. Next, we have phthalo blue, number 162, with a 5-star rating. Then we're moving on to turquoise blue, number 171, 5 stars. Number 185, ice blue, 4 stars. Number 214. It is burl green, 5 stars. Ooh, that is pretty. You guys know green is my favorite color. I'm excited about this little color range here. All right, next we have number 181. It's going to be light malachite. Somebody pronounce, Malachite, malachite, green. Light malachite green. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I'll use Google Translate to make sure that I pronounce it right for for the review. Excuse me. Number 182, this is cobalt green, 5 stars. Next up, we have number 212. It is 5 stars, chrome oxide green. Indeed. I know an artist that absolutely hates that color. If you guys know Lindsay the Frugal Crafter, she is not a lover of chrome oxide green. Next up, we have number 15, olive yellow at 5 stars. Ooh, that's pretty. Next up, we have number 470, spring green, 5 stars. Number 245, 5 stars, light olive, 40%. Okay, that's different. That's light olive? Really? Okay. Can't wait to see what that looks like with water added to it. Next up, we have number 720, 5 stars, bright green. I love the fact that there's a lot of greens in this range. This is so exciting. So exciting. I'm so excited. Oh my God. All right. Number 220, grass green, 5 stars. Oh my God. I love all the greens. Love it. Now, tomorrow's my birthday, friends. For most of you who don't know, and I haven't already told you, next up we have number 210, emerald green, 4 stars. And I feel like it is my birthday swatching these pencils because they're pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited here. And already I can tell a difference between these and the Super Color Soft already. This is number 710. I thought we swatched. Oh, that was Phthalo Blue. Okay, this is Phthalo Green. I thought we swatched this one already, but we swatched Phthalo Blue. This is Phthalo Green. Let's see. Next up, we have number 225, which is Moss Green, which is 5 stars. It's almost a tray of greens. I love it. Next up, especially for landscape artists, number 739, dark sap green, 5 stars. And of course, if you've been following me for a while, you know that sap green is my favorite convenience green color. And this one is dark sap green. You can tell right away that it's darker than the normal sap green. 719, dark phthalo green, 4 stars. There's got to be somebody that is just as excited that there's that many greens in this set. That's crazy. That's crazy. Next up, number 249, dark olive green, which is 5 stars. That's crazy. Love, love, love. Okay. And next up, we have number 736, brown olive, 50%. So another green. Kind of browny green, but still. I can't wait to swatch that one out to see how vibrant it is. Next up, we have number 39, olive brown, 5 stars. So that first one was brown olive, 50%. And this is just called olive brown. So it'll be interesting to see how close they are or how different they are once we add the water to them. Next up is number 25, green ochre with 3 stars. So a little bit more fugitive than the other greens we've swatched, according to their Light Fast ratings anyway. Next up, number 36, Raw Sienna, 5 stars. So that was 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yes, 18 greens. 18 greens. How wonderful is life? Okay, so that was number 36, Raw Sienna with 5 stars. Next up, we have number 34, Yellow Ochre with 5 stars. And last on the second tray is number 37, Brown Ochre with 5 stars. A lot of 5-star pencils. A lot of 5-star pencils, according to them. All right, let's go ahead and disperse that second tray, and then we'll do a comment check. See how you guys are feeling. First up, we have that Prussian, oh my God, Prussian blue. As I said, one of my favorite colors. That is absolutely gorgeous. Ugh. Next up, we have that permanent. Is that right? Yes, permanent blue. Oh, wow. Gorge. See, and this is what I mean by swatch your water soluble products. You see the way that color changed once water was added to it? So pretty. Phthalo blue up next. And it looks like the standard phthalo blue. Beautiful color. Very clean. Phthalo blue, phthalo green are very clean, transparent colors that are great for mixing. Um, Next up, we're gonna have turquoise blue. I feel like I might need to turn the lights on. It's getting pretty dark outside. You guys let me know now if I need to. Next up is ice blue. So pretty, so gorgeous, so saturated. The barrel green. Okay, that did not look the way I thought it was going to. That's a very pretty color. Then we have the light Michelin green. Is it like a Michelin man? Is that what I'm pronouncing? I think it is. Get your life together, Ken. Sometimes it takes things a minute to click with me. You guys know that. Next up, we have cobalt green. That's a pretty color. On the lighter side, on the warmer side of greens, I would say. Next up is chrome oxide green. And yes, that looks just like chrome oxide. It sure does. I personally think it's a pretty green. Well, I know a lot of people don't like that color. Next up, we have olive yellow. Oh, look at that. And then we'll have spring green. And I'm curious to see if these are, because with the swatching on the end of the pencil, they look close. And the olive yellow definitely has more yellow in it. You can tell from looking at it. It's more of a yellowy green. They both would probably be beautiful, especially for trees. Light olive number 40. I'm trying to remember to keep my voice elevated. I have to keep reminding myself. Next up, we have bright green. And because I don't have the Bluetooth mic on, the noise cancellation from the background probably isn't as great as it was earlier. But you know, we have to make some sacrifices here. Not sure why my Bluetooth was acting up. Next up, we have grass green. Now that one took a little bit more scrubbing to disperse. I'm not sure if it's a heavier hand laying the pigment down, but it all dispersed and it's all gorgeous. Emerald green, phthalo green. Oh, so clean. So clean. I'm gonna do a transparency test on these um, for the actual review. I'm gonna just select colors at random and swatch them on a black line just to kind of test opacity. Next we have moss green, although the box does proclaim that they are all transparent colors. They don't look cloudy at all. They disperse really well with the water. The water isn't washing away the pigment, so I would be willing to believe that. Dark sap green. That's a beautiful color. That's gonna be gorgeous for shadows. Gorgeous for shadows. Uh, Dark phthalo green. That's a dark phthalo? No, that's dark olive. I'm sorry. That was dark phthalo green. Dark sap green. Dark phthalo green. Dark olive. Let's see. Brown olive, 50%. And I actually added a lot of water to that. That's amazing. That the color just dispersed and didn't seem to start to break down right away. Next we have olive brown. Interesting color. I feel like I skipped something. I really do. So let's start at the bottom and move up. This is brown ochre. I may have got those a little out of order. We'll go back and look at it again. So brown ochre, yellow ochre. I got off somewhere. I'm not sure where, but I got off somewhere. So that's yellow ochre. And above that is going to be raw sienna. Above that one is green ochre. Oh, I see it. I see the green tone though. That's pretty. Green ochre. Above that is olive brown. And then there was brown olive, 50%, dark olive, dark phthalo green, dark sap green, moss green, because somewhere in there I got off. So I just wanted to recover those real quick. All right. And that, my friends, is what the second tray of colors looks like dispersed. Let's go ahead and move on. We're almost done. We're swatching the very last row of pencils here. Now, what I'm holding in my hand at this point is one of the Tech pencils. This is a 6B and a 2B. We're going to actually wait and swatch those last. Let's move on to number 9, black, with 5 stars. All right, and then number 496, which is ivory black with 5 stars. Number 508, which is Payne's Gray, number 4 stars. Payne's Gray being another one of my favorite colors. Sap green, Payne's gray, Prussian blue. Ironically enough, none of them super light fade, but still my favorite colors. Um, Next up, number 4, steel gray, 5 stars. Then we have number 902, sepia 10%, 5 stars. So we're definitely entering the gray, black, earth tone range here. It'll be interesting to see. Next up, we have number 746. It is warm earth 50% with 5 stars. And next is number 906, sepia 50% with 5 stars. Next up, number 495 is going to be slate gray with 5 stars. And then we have number 808, boom, like a 808. French gray, 5 stars. 808, this is one of our favorite songs by this group called Black. French gray? Yes, French gray. Number 548, umber, 5 stars. Told y'all this live is gonna be kind of long because of all of this watching. Number 46, Castle Earth, 5 stars. Ooh, I like that, even in its dry form. Next up, 49, raw umber. I thought we did raw umber already. Maybe it was different. Maybe it was different. Number 5. 5 stars, I'm sorry. Not number 5. 5 stars. Could have sworn we did raw umber already. What was that color? We didn't do raw umber. Hold on. You guys know I have to answer my questions when I get them. Oh, we did raw sienna. I thought we did an umber. Okay. So it was raw sienna. My bad. Maybe it was. That one's raw umber. All right. Number 59, brown, 5 stars. Again, most of these pencils, the majority of them are listed as 5 stars, which is a good thing. Number 65, russet, 5 stars. I'm familiar. I love that color from the Derwent color range. They are graphite pencils. It has a beautiful russet in it. And so does the graphite pan paints. Beautiful, beautiful color. Number 57, chestnut, 5 stars. Number 55, cinnamon, 5 stars. Cinnamon. If we were in Patreon, I would make a joke, but I'm not going to make that joke on YouTube. I don't want them canceling me. 77, burnt ochre, 5 stars. 44 is going to be terracotta, 5 stars. Number 866, burnt sienna 50%, 4 stars. Burnt sienna 50%, huh? Interesting. Okay. Then we have number 583, violet pink, 3 stars. And number 571. Oh, can I see that? Anthraquinoid. Anthraquinoid pink. Yeah, anthra QUIN quinoid, anthraquinoid pink. I think that's what this is. Anyway, 5 stars. Yeah. Ooh, it's a pretty pink though. Really punchy. Really warm color. Vibrant. Even in this dry form. And it has 5 stars, so it's considered like fast. Interesting. Okay, number 41. Apricot. 5 stars. Why does it seem like it was more pencils in this tray for some reason? It's not, but it just seems that way. Maybe I made the swatches bigger or something. I don't know. Next up is 542 Butternut. 5 stars. Of course, after the review, I'm going to rearrange these pencils in here to make them a little bit more rainbow efficient because they're not necessarily the most rainbow efficient the way they're set up. Not based on the way that I normally create anyway. Um, yeah, so that was the butternut. And then the last pencil on this row is number 821 Naples Ochre. 5 stars. Seems like a really light color. So at least you do seem to be getting some more pastel leaning colors, although they're not necessarily pastels, but you do have some lighter, airy, warmer colors in the set that are probably going to help induce some of the best blending in pencils. So I can't wait. All right, now let's grab the Techno pencils. This was the 6B pencil. First, I'm gonna put it down and we're gonna see if it smudges. It does. Then I'll put it down for the water soluble test. All right. Next up is the Techno 3B pencil. We'll put it down. We'll smudge it. Yep. And then we'll test it for water ability. I always test the smudging ability of the graphite pencils um, because I don't always add color to what I'm doing, especially if I'm out and about. Um, just using grayscale and smudging to add the dimension and the shading is a wonderful exercise. So let's add some water real quick, starting with black. Very saturated, very opaque. That's pretty. Next up, we have ivory black. Ooh, it's like ink almost. That's so pretty. Ooh, jeez, that's black. All right, I'm not mad, but yeah, that's pretty. That's dark. Next up, we have Payne's gray. Try to make sure I keep them in order. Now, honestly, that doesn't look like a traditional Payne's gray to me. It doesn't have enough blue in it. It's definitely not, excuse me, blue leaning like grays are. Still a very pretty color. Next up is steel gray. Nice light gray. Sepia 10%. Now that seems like if it was in paint form, it would be a really opaque color. Has a bit of cloudiness to it, like it might be a white pigment in there. It's interesting. Next up is Warm Earth 50. I'm gonna have to go check the pigment code on that one definitely. I want to know if it's a white in that. That's a pretty color as well. Next up is Sepia 50%. That's another one that I feel has a bit of a milkiness to it. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Yeah, all three of those definitely have a milkiness to them that I wasn't expecting. Next up is Slate Gray. Oh, wow. Yes, yes, very saturated. And then we have French Gray, which is kind of brown leaning, honestly. Did I swatch that? Yeah, that's it. That's definitely it, based on the color swatch on the end of the barrel. Then we have Umber. And again, proof why you should swatch your water soluble products. Absolutely. Then we have Kessel Earth, which is a gorgeous brown. Oh my goodness. Very rich. Very pigmented pencil. That is pretty. Then we have Raw Umber. Another very saturated brown. Raw Umber is a go-to staple for me in my paint palettes. I actually prefer Raw Umber over Burnt Sienna, but that's just a personal preference. Next up is Brown, which seems to be a bit red leaning. Definitely, definitely red leaning. Then a Russet, which we know will be red leaning. A little bit warmer than I expected, but still very close to the color I'm used to. Then we have Chestnut. And at this point, I'm really just saturating these things with water just to prove a point. Because I'm very, after swatching as many as I have, I'm confident that the color is not lifting off. Um, then we have Cinnamon. Beautiful color. Looks like cinnamon. It does. Then we have Burnt Ochre. Nice range of browns. Nice range of browns. And of course, we know that that really just extends the orange range because browns are basically desaturated oranges, which kind of fall up under the yellow range as well. So, nice overall, kind of comprehensive set of colors from what I can see. Terracotta, wonderful for plant pots, wood, woody area landscapes. That's a beautiful color. Then we have Burnt Sienna 50%. What? No, that has to be Burnt Sienna 50%. Let's see. Naples, butternut, apricot, pink, violet. Oh no, it's Burnt Sienna 50%. It's I'm just not used to a color like that. It looks like it has purple in it almost. Um, Definitely a red, maybe a white pigment mixed into it. I definitely have to go look up the pigment numbers now. Um, Violet pink, which isn't actually too far off of the Burnt Sienna 50%, honestly. Like those colors could blend together with the Burnt Sienna 50% being a darker color, and it would make a pretty decent blend, I think. Interesting. Now here is the anthraquinoid pink, whatever, very milky pink. So I definitely believe that some of these have white pigments in them. I could be wrong. I have not looked up any pigment codes. I could be absolutely wrong. Apricot, and you guys know I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being wrong as long as I learn the right information and correct it and move forward with the right information. I'm okay with being wrong at first. Apricot, I'm just not okay with continuing to be wrong. Butternut, first impressions, first swatching without having artist information. You are taking educated guesses at things. And then Naples ochre. All right. I actually have not run across a color that I'm disappointed with, that I feel is like weak. That's so crazy. So let's see how water soluble the 6B is. Oh wow. Beautiful pencil for graphite illustration. I love that. And then we have the 3B? 3B pencil. Now, side note, if you're looking for a quick reference, if you're looking for a cheaper alternative, these are the General's Sketch and Wash pencils. I bought 2 sets of these. I've already popped one of them open. They are super water soluble, gorgeous graphite water soluble pencils. Because they're Generals, you can find them in pretty much any big box stores, and it's one of the more affordable brands on the market. Definitely going to be more affordable than a Caran Dache graphite pencil. But yeah, really good pencils. Just on a side note. All right. That, my friends, is the swatching of the entire range of museum aquarelle pencils. I'm going to put my trays back in real quick, and then we will take a closer look. The only pencil I did not swatch was the white pencil, just because I don't feel like there was a necessity for it. All right, so let's just look here at how saturated everything is. Beautiful blues, nice violet range, going into reds, beautiful winey wine type color there. Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful fuchsias. Look at here. Um, nice neutral red there. Saturated oranges and yellow oranges. I like the fact that there's enough to choose from here. I don't feel like there's any gap, anything missing. You know how sometimes you can get that with like your dry media, for instance, like alcohol markers. It's like you need more of them. But of course, these are watercolor pencils, so you can mix these to make additional colors, which of course we won't do today, but eventually I will get around to doing that for the review. And then we moved into the bluey greens, the blue and the bluey greens, going into the regular, into the range of greens, which is absolutely phenomenal for someone like me who loves to do landscapes. Um, some gorgeous earth tones into the browns. Like this entire section here is absolutely gorgeous to me. Um, Very saturated blacks. Okay, as that Payne's Gray dries, it looks a little bit more like Payne's Gray now. Just a tad bit more. Got some really nice, rich, earthy reds. I'm sorry, really nice, rich, earthy browns that lean red. We got a neutral brown there. Some lighter browns going into more warmer tones versus cooler tones. like your terracotta and those colors that were in this particular area. And then what seems to be a really useful graphite pencil 6B and 3B that not only smudge well, but dissolve well with water. So, if I had to just say right off, I am pretty impressed from just the swatching of a couple of things. One, every single one seemed to be really soluble. I did not have to scrub. It didn't take a lot of elbow grease. I was able to switch back and forth between a water brush and a synthetic squirrel brush, which lets me know that your softer brushes will work with dissolving these, which is absolutely phenomenal. Um, they're very saturated. First impressions are that it's a very nice color range. There doesn't seem to be anything missing that you would need to fill in the gaps with. Um, there is an amazing assortment of each color in its own individual range. Um, of, I haven't tested the blendability, but considering how soluble they were, I do not see a issue that there's going to be an issue with blending and mixing of colors. But of course, I'll let you know more about that once we actually get to the actual review video. The pencils do not have from what I was able to hear, a hard scratch or make a loud scratch noise. So if you are one of those persons that's sensitive to that, I don't think that these will be that big of an issue. They seem pretty soft lead considering the fact that they are a watercolor pencil. The pigment went down on the paper really well. I didn't have to like scrub the paper to get pigment off like you do with most of your more budget, especially super budget in watercolor pencils, like say your Artist Loft watercolor pencils or your Royal and Langnickel watercolor pencils, or those pencils that you would get in your big box stores from your more craft offering companies. This is definitely, without a doubt, a fine art watercolor pencil set. Um, and these are just things that I've deduced from just the swatching. So I cannot actually wait to get into doing some work with the pencils and starting to do my normal testing routine on a watercolor pencil set so that we can see how um, their blendability, how they mix, their opacity, whether they're as transparent as they claim to be, um, how they're going to work in mixed media projects with other products. So you guys know I'll be testing all of that before we actually get to the review. But yeah, first impressions right off, I would have to say that I'm pretty impressed with the pencils. But we will definitely get a chance to see. Friends, it has been an absolute ball. I cannot tell you how much I have enjoyed hanging out with you all today, um, and swatching through these. Please stay tuned to the channel because we will have field tests coming up using the pencils, and eventually there will be a review video dropping for the pencils as well. If you are a member of Patreon, you might see these pencils in use tonight. I'm just going to be very honest with you. Um, we are going to be working on a 100% cotton hot press stretched canvas tonight over in Patreon, which you guys have seen me use before here on YouTube for some projects, but I just kind of want to explore those stretched watercolor cam. Well, it's actually stretched hot press paper around a frame to act as a canvas. But yeah, that's what we're going to be working with tonight. Friends, thank you so very much for joining me. You guys have filled my heart with so much joy. I am going to enjoy the rest of my week. I'm going to enjoy my birthday tomorrow. I want you guys to look forward to the pre-recorded release this Wednesday, coming out at 10 a.m. as it normally does. We are going to be doing a prompt from Doodle Wash's May prompt list. So I went over to their website, I found their May prompt list, I pulled a prompt from their May prompt list, and that's what's coming out for this Wednesday's pre-recorded release. So definitely stay tuned for that. Again, patrons, I will see you guys tonight. It doesn't look like there's anything else. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Don't forget to give the video a little love with a thumbs up. Drop your comments in the comment section if you have anything that you would like to share with the thrifty art community. And remember, as I tell you guys at the end of every single video, just keep creating, friends.